Hello guys. So today is our first class for this bootcamp, or basically the coaching, right? Online coaching. This will last for around 40 to 45 weeks total, right? Normally 108 days or 110 to 20 days, right? So let's continue. Today will be just the orientation. So let's look at the things we will talk about. First, we will go to the orientation slide. You can find this slide here, right, in our GitHub. Okay, so I will share this link with you. This will be the basically the reading materials, or like the whole content, right, for our coaching. For example, today I'm going to talk about the orientation, right, and maybe the content of our course. Okay, so in orientation you can find this list here, attachment doc, right? You can just like warming up. So here is a spelling mistake, ignore that one. Okay, introduction, talk about the course. Attachment, right? This attachment you're gonna get. Okay, course topics is here, which I have opened already, right? You can see this. All right, so this is a first class, right? I'm just a little bit confused what to talk, right? So let's start without any further delay, right? Orientation. So high level of overview of what coming, right? Don't get overwhelmed. Means when we're learning web development, right? This is the biggest problem, getting overwhelmed with the lot of information, right? So let's not worry about lot of things. Okay, we just focus on the things we need to do, right, on daily basis. Everything we do is start with baby steps, right? Slowly we improve ourselves. Okay, the goal is getting great at full stack development, learning how things are being done in good companies and startups, learning all the right practices, right, of writing and deploying code, building projects on our own, right? So these are the high level goals what we will achieve by the end of this coaching, right? Pick a category, complete beginner. Like, this course is for whom, right? Almost everyone. Okay, mostly for the beginners who has already started, right? We spend some time learning coding, but stop for a long time, like cannot move forward, right? Always fall behind. So for them, this course will be perfect. My goal is to walk you through, right, from zero to end. I will walk you through from zero to end. That's the goal here. Okay, the course content you can find all over the internet, right? YouTube's, there are much better courses you can find, right? What I'm going to teach you here. But the thing is, the important point is like starting, right? Starting from zero and go all the way to the end with proper guidance, step by step procedure, right? What should you be learning, right, in order to work as a full stack developer? What are the requirements? What are the new changes? Everything we cover here, right? That is the important point. So that's why you are here, right? So, all right. So after 4 weeks, might feel slightly overwhelmed. After 4 or 5 weeks, right, you will feel like, oh, this is just overwhelmed too much, something like that, right? But just make sure this is normal. Okay, in web development, things will get out of control. Sometimes you will feel like, okay, I'm not getting things right, I'm not learning properly, I'm not doing things in the right way. That is normal. Okay, sometimes you will feel like, okay, I know whatever I'm doing is, I'm just getting right, I'm learning, I'm understanding everything is perfect. But so what you have to think is, if something is out of control, just relax. Don't worry. That's normal. Keep moving, okay? Just spend more times, do the revisions, come back, ask questions, right? Just send me email, or in the chat room, you can, just put your question, right? Any doubts you have, just write the details of your question, and in the next class, I will talk about that. Things to do, okay? Install IDE, VS Code editor, Node.js, Git, and set up Git and GitHub. Just install Git and GitHub, right? Introduce, yourself, so that's fine. At this point, you don't have to do, right? So week 1, today is the first class of week 1. Installation part. So Git and GitHub. Let's start from here, right? So, okay, first let's finish all these things, and then we're gonna start talking about the installation and all that. So week 1 is installation, Git and set up GitHub. So today, that's what we're gonna do, right? Set up our working environment. Tomorrow we will start with our Git and basically GitHub class. I'm going to talk about this also today a little bit, and tomorrow we will try to complete this. The next day will be HTML, CSS basic, right? Basics. We can talk about that. Then we will just create one simple landing page, simple page, right, with HTML. Week 2. So this whole week we're going to talk about mostly HTML, CSS. 1 week, right? Then we're gonna come to the JavaScript. Start with the basic of JavaScript, solve problems in JavaScript to master the basic programming, right? We will, by solving hundreds of problems, you should master the fundamental of programming. So once you have the good grasp on or basically good understanding with the basic of programming, right? That will help to move to the advanced concept, okay? So we will move back to the advanced concept in JavaScript, call stack, how JavaScript engine work, callback functions, async natures, right? Browser APIs and all that. We will work on the JavaScript projects. Next will be document object model manipulation, DOM. We're going to learn about DOM. Complete couple of projects also on DOM. JS project, again revision, master JavaScript, back, right? Start preparing for a test. Basically, you don't have to do this, but in this test, right, what we will do is most likely we will solve a couple of problems, right, to make sure we have now good understanding with JavaScript. Okay, so out of all this in JavaScript, I will let you know, right, which one is very important one, and you should be doing a lot of work on that, okay? Because the same concept we will be using in the React, right, or Next.js when we move to the front end, right, development, okay, or basically back end as well. Again, we come back to the CSS. So once we complete JavaScript, we will back to the CSS. So we master CSS because CSS is still a lot of things we need to learn. Advanced CSS, positioning, flex, grid, right? Then we're gonna put some projects together, right? With HTML, CSS, JavaScript, we're gonna work on some projects. All right. So these are the things we will be doing in next like a 2-month time, right? Once we finish, then we're gonna move back to our React, okay, or maybe Next.js. So both we will learn, React and Next.js, right? So we'll choose, when the time comes. Then there will be, okay, let's look at the content, right? So that was the orientation. You can see Git and GitHub. That's the first thing we can do. That's 2 class, but we'll try to finish in 1 class. HTML, CSS. So this one is this whole content is for my last class, right? Where I'm right now, I'm teaching. Okay, so I just use the same thing, but timing will change. It will be not the same timing, right? Whatever days I have put here, it might change. Okay, so don't count that one. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, there is Node, Express, MongoDB, Prisma, React, Next.js, Next Authentication, SAS, Tailwind CSS, Redux UI, right? TypeScript, validation will be Jod, and final project right here. That's the basically, like full stack, but like the basic part, right? Even after completing this much, right, you should be able to apply job for the intern or junior developer, right? After doing all these things. Now we move to the advanced part here, right? Again, so in this one mostly will be back in advance, right? We call back in advance. So here you're gonna like basically improve your skill in building RESTful APIs. I mean, we will be doing here as well, right? But most likely you spend more time practicing, building RESTful API, backend communication protocols, right? We talk about that one. ORM, right? Object relational mapping, right? So we're going to talk about that. Middleware, routes, status code, global caches, and all that, right? So basically all these things is about backend, okay, and DevOps, right? Okay, monorepo, turbo repo, okay, serverless backend, open API spec, right? Authentication with Nextauth, okay, scaling Node.js, deploying npm packages, right? Database, DevOps, right? We're going to talk about DevOps here. So in DevOps, you will see Docker, deploying to Amazon Web Service or any server, right? So we talk about newer cloud like Fly and Remix or any cloud hosting, Nginx. We talk about reverse proxies, Docker, go deep in Docker, how you gonna use Docker, right, to containerize your whole development process, how you can deploy Docker to the Docker hub, basically how you deploy your image, right? So Kubernetes, CI/CD, that is continuous integration and deployment. We're going to talk about how you're going to monitor when you deploy something to this server, right? When something is live, how you monitor your system, So we talk about Grafana and Prometheus, So all these are, right, something related to the DevOps. So we'll see. I mean, there is a lot, but we'll see how much we can cover, right? But mostly we're going to cover the important things, okay? Almost everything that we will cover, okay? Almost everything we will cover. So the final projects, we will do mostly like at least 2 to 3 large full stack projects at the end. And after completing all this project, the goal is what? For you guys to becoming the full stack developer, right? Not the full stack developer, okay? You should have enough skill, to build the confidence, okay? The confidence should be there, right? And you have seen everything what the companies are looking for, in a full stack developer. You have the DevOps skills already, okay? In DevOps, Docker, like Kubernetes, CI/CD, right? If the software, someone has built the software, right? And if you have to clone that one, and that is, using like Docker and, how you gonna like install in your system, in your local machine, right? How you gonna set up everything and then run that project, right? And then work on that one, okay? So now the companies are looking DevOps as well. You must have a skill of DevOps in order to like to be a better full stack developer, right? So these skills will really enhance your chances, right, in getting the job. Okay, fine. So you guys can just look at this all enough. I mean, there is a link. I will share this GitHub link, right? So how things will work is, for example, let's go back to one, right? This is Git and GitHub. That will be the next class. Okay. So all the content, right? What we gonna I will be teaching in the class will be available here. Okay. Or I will share with you, right? Maybe if there is some other links or whatever, I will share with you guys. But mostly class recording will be also available here. You're gonna find the video, right? Somewhere here. Okay. Maybe I'll just put here the video link for the class recording. So every class, for example, I'm working with the Git and GitHub. So Git and GitHub related video will be here. If I will start HTML, CSS, that video will be class recording, right? So you will find here, and whatever the content you're going to find below this here. Okay. The README file is important, right? Any topic, you just go to the README file. So HTML, CSS, open that, then README file you'll see here, and all the content will be here, right? Class recording, text for reading, or link to outer website, right? Any links where you need to go and study will be available here. So this will be like a guideline for your whole study process, right? So you don't have to go anywhere. Just open this link. Okay, I'm working on HTML, CSS. Just open that, and you will find the content here, right? So just look at what you need to do, right? Whatever the class recording, like class 1, 2, 3, 4, all the video will be here. Similarly, I will have like 3, right? JavaScript, maybe 4, something else, 5, something else. So it will be keep moving down, right? All right, guys. So we almost finished with the orientation and the overall picture what we will be doing in next in our coaching, right? So let's start with installation. Okay, let's go back here and installation, right? So IDE, that is VS Code, right? So Visual Studio, right? Not this one. Okay, I don't think that one. Visual Studio Code. Okay, so open that and download, right? Whatever system you have, just choose that. So you will get that here. If you have Mac, you should be downloading for Mac. Download and install, right? Once you install this, that should be easy. Just install. You can add, you will get something like this, right? Just open the your Visual Studio. Just open that. Then you go to the extension here, right? Look at this extension here. Okay, and make sure you install all this, right? Whatever you see here, I will just scroll through. ES7, React Redux, React Native, right? Just install that. So how? Just search here, right? For example, if I search here ES7, right? Let's say ES7, it will give me this. Okay, so I have installed something. Okay, this one, right? Let's see. Yeah, so I have installed this one. That is 11 million download, right? Look at that. Okay, so it's okay. You can just install. Click on this. You will get. Right now is already installed, so I have to uninstall, right? If I uninstall this, and then I will remove here, right? So I will just search ES7, and I'm here, right? I just need to install this. You will receive something like this. Just click on install and done, right? So you have installed that. So I'm going to show you everything what you need to install. Okay, guys. Let me clean this up and install one. So see here, I have installed package, right? All the package I have installed. It's like 8 something package I have installed. Basically, these are the extension, right, for the VS Code. Why extension? Why we need extension? The VS Code is like integrated development environment, right? Where you have basically, you can do all kind of things. You can build your code in HTML. You can write for JavaScript or even Python, any other stuff, right? C, whatever language. Okay. Now you have the libraries, right? Software like this, which you have installed here, will help you to test your code also. So, because we're going to use React, all that, right? That will help us to syntax highlight. When you're writing something, code snippet, it will give you the suggestion. Okay, you may be trying to write this code, right? For all that, we're going to need this ESLinting. So it will organize our code, right? Okay. We're going to use TypeScript. So it will help us for writing TypeScript better code, right? Live server, we will be testing our code live, right, in the local machine. So we're going to need this prettier for the code formatting, organizing your code properly, right? Prisma ORM. So later in the future, right, when we start learning database, we will be using Prisma, right, to communicate with our database and our program. So this Prisma extension is going to help us. Okay. Tailwind for styling, it is gonna be very useful, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just install all this, right? That should be good enough. Okay. Fine. So installation is done. Next, what you can do is, you can just go to your reference setting right here, and auto save, just change this to on focus change, right? Change there. And I believe that is good enough for now, right? Yeah. So if something in the future, if I have to, I will, if you need to change, right? During maybe lesser React, I believe, yeah. I will let you know what are the things you can update here, okay? In our JSON file. So if you click here, right? So file auto save, you can see JavaScript, default formatter, right? Right now, JavaScript is the default formatter. So I will change, right? Because we have now prettier. We can change this to the prettier, but right now you don't have to do all that. Let's leave it, or because we have installed the prettier also, right? Let's see. For default formatter, right? So okay, there was something default formatter right now is none, right? So you can change to prettier. So here, just select that, right? Okay. Yeah. So that will be okay. I believe we need to add something here. I don't remember, but there was a code to write, right? Okay, I will let you know tomorrow class, right? Because I don't remember exactly what was the syntax. Something we have to associate with the extension, right? Like, something like that. So yeah, so it's okay. I will check that and I will add here. Maybe I'll just share with you guys tomorrow morning in tomorrow class. Yeah, once you select this prettier, right, it will your code will use prettier to format the code. Okay. That is all we have to do, guys. Anything else we can do here? Yeah, word. There is one more thing, right? Word wrap. Let's see. word wrap right here. So that is off. Okay, sometimes you place the like long text, right? So it will be better if we can just wrap it, right? So just make it on. Okay, so that it will automatically wrap our word also. Fine. Yeah, that is good enough. Let's stop here. So done. I will close this. I'll close all this now, and we finish, right? So that was the what was that? Visual Studio Code Editor, right? We finished installation. So next thing, Node.js. Let's install that. Easy. Node.js, right? So just download. This is the latest 20 LTS, long time support, right? Just download that one, or you can go to the download and look for the here. Let's click. Let's see if we can find something, right? Yeah, so I don't see something latest one. This is just a long time support. So when you install this, right, you can get npm. This one will be installed automatically. Yeah, so just install this. Okay, that is good enough. Yeah. All right. So Node.js is done. In this one, you don't have to do anything. Just click next, 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 right? Once you download, open that one and let it, just click next, 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 and it should be done. I know you guys have done already, but in case you need, right? Git, next will be just install the Git, right? Git. Download that. Click on the download and install that. That will be quick. So GitHub, right? What is GitHub now? This will be the cloud server, right? Where we're gonna store our code. GitHub. So if you don't have account, you can just go here and register, right? Create your account. It will ask you a bunch of questions. Just use your Gmail account, Gmail to create account, right? Once you finish creating account, you will receive something like this, right? Okay. Now here will be your profile, right? Like this. Okay. In your profile, you're not gonna get anything, right? So these are the green graph, right? What you see here. So every time when you're gonna write code and commit to your GitHub, right? Basically you commit your code, means when you're gonna push your code here or store your code in the GitHub, right? You're gonna get this graph. So this is useful, right? Why this is important? Because when you go for a job, the recruiter, right, company will be looking your graph here, and they will try to figure out if you are a regular coder or not, right? I mean, you are working regularly and coding regularly or not, right? But because you said, okay, for last 2 years I'm writing code, I'm learning this, I'm doing that, all right. But they're gonna just want to see this, right? So that's why it's important to follow the proper working procedure, right? You must be on regular basis, mostly daily basis, right? Committing something to the GitHub, something useful, right? Okay. I mean, you cannot just put anything and commit, right? Because again, they're gonna just go and select one of your projects and try to check right there. Okay. So we will learn all that. We will go through the process, right? Proper procedure and follow that one while writing our code. Okay. Just create account and you're good to go, right? For now. So done. Almost we finished, right? Installation part is finished. So we have Node, we have Git, we have VS Code editor, and account in the GitHub also. All right. So guys, let's do one thing. What we're going to do now, right? Okay, let's talk about the Git. Okay, so I'm going to close all this. Let's see how much. Okay. Let's talk about the Git and GitHub, right? Basically Git. So I'll just go to the Git now, right? The only thing I have is one document here. Open doc. So we have done installation of Node.js. We have installed Git. How you can verify, right? So open your terminal, right? Just open that. And I will type node -p. And I have version 22.1.0, right? That is what I have installed in my system. Okay. So maybe you only saw the LTS last time, right? But if you go back, you can find that also, Node.js. Let's find that. Download and install Node. You see, I mean, it's here also, right? Look at this. You just have to, I don't know where I was last time, right? So you can, that was the something there last time, okay? But just scroll right, you can get the current one as well. Okay, just download that. So just select the package manager here, just select whatever you need, go to the pre-built, download and install. Okay, so that is what pre-built installer, right? And install that. Good to go. So that's the node. If you want to check Git also, right? Git -v. So in the terminal, we just have to type the command and you will get that Git version also. So that means we have installed that. Okay, it's there, right? VS Code, we have done that. Now it says create Git account, right? In the GitHub. So you can go to the link here, create account. So the goal now, right? Open repository in the GitHub, clone it, create project, add it to the Git, commit and push, right? Change to your code. So this is the goal for the class, right? I mean, when you have GitHub account, what we should be doing is we need to create a repository. So I will talk about that. How you're going to clone that to your local machine. Then you're going to create project there, right? And then add that to the Git and commit and push it to the GitHub again, right? So there is so many things we're going to talk about one by one. So first thing, what is Git, right? There is two things now, Git and GitHub, okay? So let's try to understand that. So I will just clean up this, right? So, Git. Okay. So sorry guys, just give me a second. Okay, I was trying to write something, but my writing pad not working, right? Maybe I forgot to connect with my system. So anyway, I'll use the mouse. So just imagine this is a Git, right? Git. This is a GitHub. So what is the difference? So Git is in your local machine, right? In your local machine, okay? Right now, it's in your local machine, right? Local computer. And the GitHub is a cloud computer. Cloud computer, right? So in our local machines, what we do, you have VS Code, right? You're gonna write some program, correct? Next, you just wrote some program, right? Little bit of code. Now next time you want to update from there, right? Or maybe some other person want to come and update or work on the same code. So how you know, right? How somebody will know that the code is written by you or other person A, B, C, or whoever, right? How we know that? So in that case, the Git plays the role, right, of tracking the changes. So what is Git now, right? Let's understand. Tools that help to track the change in your code. Tools that help to track the change in your code, right? For example, you have a bank account. So the bank keeps track of all the changes, right? When you added the money, when you withdraw, what is the balance and all that, right? So bank keeps the ledger or track of all the changes, like history of your bank account, right? History means what? Something added, something removed. So that is the things bank will track. The Git does the same thing for us, right? When we're writing the code. So let's say you just wrote a code, right? Just wrote a code. You finished, right? You did something, okay? Code 1, right? That is version 1. Now next time you're gonna write again, update that, right? Update code, right? Code 2, that is version 2, right? You come back again, improve the code, that will be version 3. So see, there is a tracking now, right? And Git will do all that. So we will learn how to use Git to track our code, okay? Now what is GitHub? GitHub also has a Git, right? Even you can make changes here and track the changes here, right? In the GitHub itself. It's a cloud computer. So what happened is you have bank account, right? Similarly, you have an account here, okay? You have account, right? You create the project here, project folder. So what is folder, right? So in your computer, you create a folder, something like this. Let's call it a HTML CSS app, right? Or HTML CSS project, something, okay, you created. So here will be index page, CSS page, JavaScript, whatever inside this folder, right? Similarly, this code is local. Now you want to send this code here, right, in the GitHub, so that you can share with anyone, or you can use for hosting, right? Or you can send to the company. Company has many employees, right? They all need to work on that code. So you can assign people, right? Or your manager can assign different employee to work inside that code, right? Correct? So here you create the folder. Let's call it project 1, right? Something, whatever project, okay? 1, or inventory management system, right? Project 1, okay? So in this project you started working on, or maybe other people started working on, so we're going to talk about this more in details later. But for example, you just started working on, right? You have to make some changes. So that changes will be tracked by Git. Git is a version control. Version means tracking the changes, right? So how we do all that tracking, we will look at that command later, right? But for now, just remember, Git is just a version control, and GitHub is the computer in a cloud, right? Somewhere with or server, somewhere in the cloud. Just imagine I'm sitting here in my country, right? And I'm using the GitHub, which is in the USA. The computer is in the USA, right? The server is in the USA, or maybe Singapore or Japan, whatever, right? So I'm using one of the server. How I just created the account in the GitHub, and I'm going to create a project right there, and I'm going to use that. Okay. So that's the thing about Git and GitHub. Okay. So just study this quickly. GitHub is a web-based platform that provides hosting for software development and version control using Git, right? Hosting means you are storing there, right? Even you can host, you can make your site live also from the GitHub. But we will talk about that when we are working on the project, right? For now, just imagine GitHub is just a computer where you're gonna create the folder and store your code. That is GitHub. So when you make changes to your code, right, that change will be tracked by Git, which you have installed in your computer, right? So can we just quickly do one example, right, how this works? So first, what I will do, I have this GitHub already, right? I'm just gonna go to my profile here, main page, right here, and then you can click the repository, or here just click on repository, or you can go to this profile button and your repository, click on here, right? Just click your repository, same thing, either you click that or that one, you get here, right? Look at this green new button, click on that, right? And you will receive this form. It says create your project folder name, repository name. Repository means where you're going to deposit your code, right? Where you're gonna, so let's say I'm start working on the one of the HTML CSS project, simple template. So I will call this maybe HTML CSS 1, right? Something like that. Okay. Here, if you want, you can write some description. Basic HTML CSS template. Okay. Template, right? That's the public. If you want, anyone can visit your repository. Public, click on, this by default it is public. You can make it private also. Public, right? Then click on readme file. So every project can have readme file, right? Why? In this one, you can define or you can describe the details of our project, right? Clear? So we will learn also in the future, right? In the coming days, how we describe about the project in the readme file. So anyone, for example, the recruiter, right? When you look at your project, first they want to see your readme file, and they will quickly see what you have done, what tech you have used, where is your link for the live, live link, all that information, right, will be available there. So this is like a summary of your project, right? Done. Just create a repository. Okay. And you will receive this folder, HTML CSS1 folder. Okay. This is what you received just now, right? Now what we have to do is just click on this code and copy here, right? Okay. Just click on that, go to your GitHub. I will just open the new one, right? New GitHub here. Sorry, Visual Studio, not GitHub. Okay. Just excuse me. Okay. So now what I have to do, right? Where I'm going to store my project, right? I need to store that somewhere. So I will just open the folder and in my document somewhere, right? Let's say, I believe MERN stack here, stack 1, right? No, I'm working on that. So let's see. One, I'll just create, GitHub projects, right? So all the GitHub projects I will just store inside this folder. Okay, projects. So I will let me rename this GitHub projects. GitHub projects. Clear? Select that, and you will receive something like this, right? So just click on here. Look at this, right? Toggle to the terminal. So we will receive the terminal, or you can just click on terminal, new terminal, right? That is also Control Shift plus backtick. Okay, but better just click on this, toggling open on off, right? Fine. So now you have to write a command, right? Git. So the git is the command, right? Because remember, the git is the version control. Now git will give you set of command to handle, right, or to communicate with your GitHub, to create a version and all that. Okay, so we will learn that commands in tomorrow class. But first, git, I'm gonna clone, right? I'm gonna clone that. Close this. So git clone, and I will just paste the link what I just copied, right, from here. So you can have HSS also, or this one, right? So we're gonna talk about this also. Okay, how if you have set up, if you manage to set up everything, that's fine, right? If not, we can talk about that. But for now, in my case, it's already set up, so it will be not asking me any question. Just copy that and enter, right? So I just clone this in my computer. There is only one README file, and you see something like that, right? Now I will just have to switch to that folder. So cd html, like that. No, enter, right? So I'm inside this HTML. So I just clone. That is the first step. The first step was creating the project folder. Second was cloning the project, right? So now if this is the first time for you, right, when you clone from the GitHub, right, it will ask you a bunch of questions, something to do, right? So that is what I will show you now here. So it will ask you to configure, follow the video tutorial to, okay, so let's go back. Step to configure your Git, to your Git, right? If you just install the Git, it will ask you some question, okay? It will ask you for the Git config global username, right? So you just give username, something like that. Put your name, done, right? The next will be set up your email inside the Git. So git config dash dash global user.email and put your email ID like this, right? Done. So just finish that two part, right? I mean, you can literally go to your terminal, right, and just do this. Once you install the Git, you can just do it. Then it will not ask. Just do git config global, right, like that. User.email. First one is username, right? So user.name was the first. User.name like this. And just put your name, right? Okay, something like that. Just put something that is like a username and enter, okay? So I have already set up, I don't need to do. And the next one is git config dash dash global user.email and put your email account, right? So just do that two part, and then it should not be asking you anything. Yeah. So just you have to do that, right? If that is the first time. Okay, the next thing is, once we have cloned it here, right? The next is adding the project now. So let's say I am just going to create one index.html and then maybe style.css, right? So in the index.html, just change the title. For example, I'll just add heading 1. This is home page, right? Like that. And one paragraph. Okay. I just added heading 1, paragraph, change the title, right? This is the first code I have added for now, right? Now I want to send this code to the GitHub, right? Okay, let me add something here also. Okay, so I will just put star. So let's not worry about all these things. If you know, that's good. If not, that's fine, right? box sizing, border box. Okay, done. You can link your CSS, right? So link dot slash, and this is what you're going to do most of the time, right? CSS, link it to your HTML, and done. Now the step one, the first thing, right? Git add. Done. So let's check the status now, right? See, so when you see the green like this, right, it is in the staged area now, right? Okay, so means it's ready to add the commit, right? Commit means once you do git add, right, means you selected git add dot git add, right? And dot means all the file, all the new changes in every file, right? Select that. So that is what we have done. It's selected. That means all the file you have, style CSS, index HTML, these are the two changes. So you put in the staging area now, right? Once you have in the staging area, you can commit. Commit means basically create the history, right? Like, okay, this is the change one. You're giving the name to your change, right? So let's do that. Git commit dash m message, right? And here initial commit. So you just give proper name, right, of your code, whatever you have done. Okay, maybe you have created the header section, so git commit dash m header, right? Initial project, okay, project setup, right? Something like that. So git commit dash m initial project. So see, it created the change now, right? It insert basically two file change insertion, right? So whatever, it just created the history of my code now. Fine. If I go and check git status again, see, it says your branch is ahead of origin main, right? So right now I'm working in the main branch and I have made some changes, means I'm ahead now. I moved forward, right, from my origin. What is origin here? So this is the origin, right? Main here. Look at this branch. I just have one branch, main. This is the origin, right? So I'm gonna push the code now. So git push. So when you do the first time push, right, it will ask you like you need to do the, if this is the first time, maybe it will ask you like git push upstream and all that, right? So just copy paste there the same information, whatever it will suggest you, copy paste and click, right? It will push your code to the GitHub. So if I refresh now, you will see index, style, all things added here. And also you're going to see the whatever the last commit, right? Initial project, that's the commit name. Okay, that's the commit, right? All right. Okay, guys. So that's what we have to do, right, during the commit. Let's go back here. Okay, let's go to our course now, right? Quickly. Okay, let me open again GitHub. So the new project is MERN STACK, right? One, that is what we are working on. So here is also some configuration information, what we just did. Once you install the Git, right, just make this to your terminal, just add this to the terminal. What you can do, right, like for example, if that is a window, just open the PowerShell, as the administration and add that one. You can do that also fine, right? Or you can open the git bash also, just open the git bash like this and just place that code here, right? That should be also perfectly fine. Just go, once you install git, you're gonna find that git bash. Open that, run as administration, right? Just click on this and place that code, git config config, right? Dash global user.name and whatever, right? Let's try this. It should work, okay? But normally what I do, right, what I have done before is PowerShell. I'll just open this PowerShell as administration and add it here, same thing. This is the first and this is the second one, and you good to go. If you want, like now you can check, right, the status of your username and email. So let's check, in my case, if I just open the terminal, even terminal, right, should be okay. Let's try git config dash list, and let's see. Yeah, so user.name is this one. That's the email ID I'm using. Here is my email ID, right? And a username, this is the username and this is the email ID. These are the two things you need to be there. I mean, it need to be there, okay? So once you have that, you are good to go, right? If you want to edit again, so here git config dash global edit, right? Edit, enter, and it does not contain a section. Git config config dash global edit, right? It does not contain a section edit, right? I don't know why, but okay, let's go to the bash, right? No, and try there, because we are now inside the git bash. Git bash is basically the terminal, right, for the git. Config dash global edit. So yeah, so it did not work. I don't know why. It does not contain a section edit. Oh, maybe the username, right? So let's try git config dash. It should give us the whole thing, but I don't know why not. But I have never done this, right? I'm just trying, okay? I have never edited this. Edit, and then maybe just user.name, right? Equal to user.name, right? Equal to what? Just put it there like that. It did not work. Okay, guys, let's not worry about that. Let's not wait, right? I mean, not waste time for this. You don't have to do, okay? Just do this part, email, and this one, you're good to go. And then check, just config, right? Git config dash list, and it will show you whatever you have added, right? If you have that too there, you are good to go, okay? Now we have look at the git add, to put your changes in the staging area. Like you make some change to your code, you did git add, it will put in the staging area, then you commit to save that changes, right? Basically, okay, same like, okay, you withdraw 5,000 from your bank, so that withdraw 5,000 will be saved in the history, right? Same thing. Commit means adding the changes to the history. You can check git log, like if you want to see, whatever there, right? Changes, okay? Git push. Now, once you make change, you can push the command, just use git push, right? To push your code to the GitHub here, okay? So we're going to learn about this Git more in the future, right? Because they're like, for example, in the same code base, there will be many people working, right? You might have to create different branches and work on your own branch. So we're going to talk about that in the future, right? So this is the main branch right now where we push our code. So you want to develop different features, right? So you're going to create feature one branch and I start adding code there, right? Maybe somebody create feature two branch and start working on that one. Okay, so these are the commit. This round circle, right, is a commit. Branch 1 has all this commit, right? And then you combine all your features, right, to the main branch. This is the main here. Just combine with the main, right? Maybe the person 2 feature branch 2, right, also have make all these changes, commit, and then combine to the main, right, like that. So now the main is the main like main project, right, or main software, which has all the changes, all the features. Okay, somebody came back later and again start working, then they will create a new branch, update there, and then combine to the main, right? So you copy the branching is basically the image, right, just making the clone or copy of this, not copying the code, but it just have like a image, right, of your whole code. You work on that. It's like a separate code base, right, from the last time. Okay, so you work on that, and then once your code is ready to go, everything working, tested, right, then you combine with your last changes, right? Whatever the new change, combine to the main change, right? Okay, and then that will go in the production. Okay, so that's how things work, right? So we're gonna learn about this in the future again. For now, right? Okay, so generating SSH key is also there. We will, okay, let's keep it up to here for today, right? And then we're gonna continue working on this Git tomorrow. All right, guys, so let me stop for now.